What's up, guys? Tim Wilson from Tim Wilson UK here, and welcome back to the Golf Club 2, streaming live. And for those of you that are watching after the fact on YouTube, this isn't going to be live, but today's something a little bit different. I am joined by who most of you probably know as Cathalos 1991, as I know as Corhill. So if you want to say hi.
Hey guys, how are you doing? And Tim, you absolutely nailed it that time. So
Yeah, there we go.
You've definitely been practicing that one.
Oh man, it frightens me every time I say it. So I have to get it. I have to get it right in my head before I actually say it. So what we're going to be doing this time on this live stream, and this is something that we spoke about very briefly at the end of the Meet the Creator that we did a little while ago, was that you were going to create Wentworth, and there was a particular reason why you wanted to create Wentworth, and I don't know whether you want to share that with the people on the stream at the moment, and for those of you that are watching on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me, I suppose like there's definitely an awful lot of reasons why you'd want to bring a course like Wentworth to the game. That's for sure. I mean, it's probably outside of St Andrews the most famous course in the UK at the moment, and no disrespect to any designers or anything out there, but I just felt like there wasn't anything there in the game that was up to scratch, that really kind of, this is Wentworth, everything just kind of seemed a bit, not really there. So I suppose that was one reason, but the other reason I suppose was just growing up as a kid. My father was just Wentworth mad. He would always watch the BMW PGA Championship, and I've watched it every year since. Wentworth is literally like in my head, and now after the last 4 or 5 weeks putting it together, I don't think it'll ever go out at this stage.
Yeah. So I take it there are other creations of Wentworth in the game, but I take it you played those and you thought these are just not good enough. They were not an accurate enough representation of the course.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to fuel someone's ego and say that they're fantastic, because some of them just they aren't, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes and be an ass about it. Excuse my language, but they're not up to scratch in my eyes. And I kept saying for months and months, I was like, "Do you know what? Someone just needs to step up and do Wentworth, and one that kind of does it justice." And based on the feedback I've got, the guys out there seem to be really, really happy with the job I've done of it at the moment. So I'm not going to try and blow my own horn on anything like that, but the overall reaction is very, very positive to it, and the guys seem to be really enjoying it.
Yeah, so I think it was 2 days ago, Lee Walker, early 1981, he played the course. I think on the front nine he actually got a hole in one as well. I say as well because I've just got one on the previous video, but
Yeah.
I saw that you commented on the video. Now, what I don't want to do, I mean, obviously, Lee and I have this understanding that we don't tend to post videos of the same courses, but obviously,
Yeah.
we're doing something a little bit different here today because we're going to be playing it at the same time, and we're going to be talking through it as we play it.
Yeah.
Not so much a Meet the Creator, because obviously we've done that, but it's just about playing the course and just having some general chat and just enjoying it more than anything else. So let me try and find the course here, because I would imagine. Let me go to my favourites and then look for one of your courses.
Perfect.
Pretty sure I've got one in here in my favourites.
Definitely after the last time, anyway.
So
But
Z the G has just said, how did he get Rory McIlroy to do a video with him?
the accent isn't that bad, is it?
No, I mean, for those of you that have just joined the stream, we've got, you'll probably know him as Cathalos 1991. Yeah, we've done a Meet the Creator series, or that we were going to do a video around one of his new creations, and that's what we're doing today. This is we're going to be doing Wentworth. So I've noticed when I looked on here the other day, you've got about 4 different versions. So let me choose the right one. All right.
There's
so
the West Course at Wentworth is the one you're looking for.
okay, so that's the most recent one.
That's the most recent one, yeah.
Okay, so the West Course at Wentworth, 130 plays, yep.
Perfect. Yeah, that's 130 plays so far. Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the details. So, all the killer features: fairways firm, greens firm, green speed fast. So, it's going to be brutal. But let's go into new round. Any particular pin set we should choose?
I've seen an awful lot of people play pin set 1, and even though the course is only out about 36 hours at this stage, I think what we'll do is the PGA Championship is next week. Let's go pin set 4, Sunday pin positions, and have a bit of crack with them.
All right, are they brutal?
Do you know what? Look, I'll be nice. I'll play opposite you, but I'll also caddy for you as well. So I'll give you some good places to put the ball in. But do you know what? They're brutal in spots, but sometimes you don't have to go at the flag. Sometimes maybe 5 yards left, 5 yards right, or playing beyond the flag is probably the best place to go. But you'll see it as we get out there and be able to navigate through a couple of those pins. The first 2 holes are grand. The third one might catch you though.
All right, so we're playing white tees, pin set 4, yeah?
Pin set 4, yeah.
All right, I will load up and I will see you on the first tee. Perfect. In your repertoire of courses, and for those of you that don't know, Core Hill creates real course recreations. So he takes real courses and he puts them into the game. There are other people out there that do fantasy courses. There are other people out there that also do real course recreations. In your repertoire of courses, where does this one fit? How proud are you of this one that you've done here? Is it the best one you've done so far? Because obviously you've had the most experience and knowledge that you've been able to put into this one, or has it been the most enjoyable? What have been the good things and the bad things about this?
It's the right. We'll start with in terms of where it sits, I suppose, in terms of how good it is in comparison to the ones out there. For me, I think it's the best. It's the best thing I've done so far. What I will say is that it was the hardest because, you could do the Emirates, or I could do some of the Irish courses I've done, and do you know what? I might get 1 or 2 things wrong, and do you know what? Nobody would really know because how many people are going to have played that particular course. But when you've got Wentworth, perfection is pretty much demanded, so it kind of, you can be stressing about something not looking right for a while. So it's definitely rewarding to actually see that it turned out as well as it did.
Okay, so I've just zoomed out. I'm on the first tee. I see you're on the first tee. I have to ask the question, and this is much the same as the question I asked on our Meet the Creator series, where I saw the graveyard just off to the right of the first tee. I've just zoomed back. How accurately have you created that car park outside the clubhouse?
That took me 5 to 6 hours just to do that.
And is that accurate,
just
is it?
To do that. That is literally, I zoomed in on everything. I suppose the individual flowers that are there probably aren't the right ones, but essentially the framework of that area is as accurate as I could possibly get it.
Okay, so the hedges and the flower beds and whatnot, yeah. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, let's get this round going. I mean, obviously we can chat while we're playing. Because we've got a live stream going. The comments have been coming in. So if anybody wants to throw some questions out there for Core Hill, you're more than welcome. I will relay those to him, because I'm sure he's probably not got the stream live at the same time.
I don't, but I could do that to make things an awful lot easier. I can read some of the questions as well, so I'll do that in a second.
Cool.
Line off the first tee, for me anyway, you definitely want to keep it down the left-hand side as much as you can. That wind isn't going to be favourable, but as hard down the left as you can.
Yeah, because it's going to slope to the right, yep.
That everything's going to kick out, yeah.
Cool, no worries. All right, so let's get
and
this
I hit it fast. Oh.
So that's going to go left.
That's bunker bound. Oh. I'll tell you one thing. That's the first time I've missed the fairway.
Well, I've done the complete opposite. I've hit a slow.
Oh no, so you're on the other one, are you?
No, it's kicked left and it's in the fairway. So it's in the fair. It's just rolled into the right rough. The first cut.
Got away with it. No, I was. Oh man, I've never been this far back. I don't even know what to do from here. I've never hit this shot before.
Okay, so playing this course, how many times do you reckon you've played this then now?
I would go in the region of about 50 times through testing. Maybe 60, 70.
All right, so I really do not stand a chance here.
Oh, but yeah. I found the bunker off the tee, so you've every chance now. Just trying to chop that back out into the fairway and see if we can get up and down and move on to the next hole.
Get up.
People were always wondering why those bunkers are there. It's exactly why those bunkers are there.
Yeah, if you hit it fast off the tee.
Okay, let me find that stream there.
All right, Z the G, thanks for joining. Just going to do some quick hellos here while I'm waiting for you to jump onto the green here. Photon Bread, welcome to the stream. Rich, welcome back. Sire, Jack, welcome back. Z the G, who's now gone, welcome along. Sean McCamley, welcome. Matthew Brown, thank you for joining the stream. Sam Wisniewski, welcome. And anybody else that's in the stream that hasn't dropped a comment so far, welcome along. Sam asked, what did you think of Tiger Woods at TPC Sawgrass? I thought he played incredibly well. I think he's still a little way off his best, but I think he played incredibly well. All right, so there is some break on here, but it's not stupidly fast, is it?
No, not at all. The first green, I suppose, this pin position is actually it's quite handy. You're below the pin. It's not too bad, but I think on kind of pin set 1, pin set 2, you're more towards the front of the green.
All right,
you've got that false front coming into play, so there's a huge amount of things that can go wrong. The first hole is pretty favourable. I think it opens up the round nicely.
Oh, I've just missed my birdie on the first.
Cool, I need to hold an absolute tramliner just to par.
Alright, I'm in for par. Yeah, it's did you get your par as well?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Shaky stare from me.
Mind you, that's how you get punished when you end up in the bunker, I suppose.
That's it. It's my own fault. I shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Wow, you've got an absolutely astonishing handicap, plus 24.
Yeah, ever since I've stopped or finished up on the course there the other day, I've just been back into playing the game full time, and I won a couple of society events and stuff like that, so I've been playing reasonably well, so that's why I'm kind of surprised to have started so badly.
So do you run your own society?
Yeah, I run the RCR World Tour on the PS4, and it's also on the PC as well.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, this is the perfect opportunity in the live stream and also on YouTube to give your society a shameless plug.
That's it, absolutely, as always. But we're actually playing the Century Tournament of Champions this week at Kapalua. So if anyone is fancying a new society, give us a shout.
So it's just RCR World Tour, yeah?
RCR World Tour, yeah. If you search RCR in the search, you'll see two of them should come up. There's the TaylorMade one, obviously, and then there's there's my one, which is just the RCR World Tour.
Okay. And is it entry fee to get into the society, or?
No, it's free. It's wide open. I kind of took away all that at the start of this going on season. Entry fees to tournaments are relatively small. I think they're about 800 coins or something like that. And all payouts are 100%. So nothing goes back to the society. Everything is for the members who play.
Cool. And handicap rated tournaments or just straight stroke play?
Do you know what? I I used to do handicap rated tournaments, but then
Ooh.
there was issues with the actual handicap in itself, and was that nearly a hole in one again? No, it was a birdie putt. Sorry. Um, yeah, there was some issues with the handicap system, and then I just decided to kind of stay away from it because it was just hard to maintain it, and I suppose everyone playing off the proper handicaps and stuff like that. So I just did away with it, as it was just creating a couple of headaches.
Yeah. So how many members have you got in the society now?
Ooh, I think we're north of 500
Oh, nice. All right.
this
So you
stage.
get
Yeah.
and you get decent fields for every society event.
Yeah, definitely. So like I run 4 round events, so we'll play that over the course of a week. I don't like do daily tournaments or anything like that. I like to give people a chance to actually play the full tournament
Yeah.
and have that kind of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday feel. I forgot the original question. I was too busy thinking of what I was going to say. What was I going to say there? I have no idea. I've completely lost my trail of thought there when the new hole came up.
No, that's all
Um,
right. All right. So this is the one that you said could be a little bit tricky. Hole number 3.
Yeah, definitely. The line here is definitely down the left-hand side. What's going to happen there if you watch the flyovers, you'll see that the flag is tucked in there back right with a bunker before it. Horrible slope down towards the front. Everything falls back towards you. So the best thing to do to give yourself at least a decent angle of attack is to kind of head towards that bunker up the left-hand side.
Okay, the one
And
that's in the shade of the shadow of the
slightly
tree.
in the
Yeah.
shade there,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I feel like I do have a caddy. I really do.
I was actually watching an interesting video earlier on. I think it was from 2 years ago. Tom Lehman was playing in the senior PGA Championship, and they were on like the 16th hole, and his caddy was giving him a yardage, and he was like, "Yeah, it's 181 to the pin. It's just a 5 iron." And Tom Lehman was coming back, and he was like, "Oh, giving him crap, and that's not what I need to hit and all this." And then the caddy just turns around, he's like, "Look, it's a 5 iron, hit it easy, trust me." Hits it and stitches it into a foot, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." Oh, it was brilliant.
What fascinates me is how far these guys actually hit the golf ball. I mean, I look when I play golf because I play golf anyway. But when they're talking and you've got these commentators and they're saying, he's got 220 yards to the green and he's got a 7-iron in his hand. I'm thinking, what the hell? It's like, are you kidding me?
It's like, who provided the horse tranquilizers before?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
All right, so I didn't go as far left as you, so I've got a tricky little shot into this green.
Yeah.
You've got the perfect angle, I would imagine.
To be honest, I don't think I could have placed it any better down there, to be honest. It's perfect for me anyway. But what you'll see is you have that little bit of slope over there to the left. So what you can do is, if you're not willing to try and go at the flag itself, to go at that little slope to the left and hope that those yellow lines would bring it back around and give you a decent chance for birdie.
Yeah, good. While you were saying that, I was zoomed into the green so everybody could actually see that.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to, like, there is, my grammar's awful, there is going to be some pin positions that are kind of tucked away, but they're not completely inaccessible. You do have that opportunity to, be creative, take a look at what's surrounding the area, that kind of 10, 15 feet around the hole, and use that to your advantage. I'm not going to give you any birdies. You're going to have to go and work for them.
Yeah, and I didn't do that any justice at all. I didn't even get over the... That's the disadvantage of not going far enough left. I came up way short, and now I've still got a chip to get onto the green.
Yeah.
You did the same thing.
Yeah, I had the club. I just pushed it a little bit and got caught up in the rough. So hopefully we can chip in again.
Yeah, you're a bit of a demon at that. I'm going to watch your shot because you're 5 yards. You're a bit of a guru at the old chip-ins. So.
Okay, let me see. And it's in.
Oh, yeah, I just watched it. I zoomed in as you got it. Beautiful. Go on, roll, you son of a bitch. Ah, didn't roll. It rolled, but it rolled off to the right, and I've just trickled past the hole. So let me just tap this in for the par. So, signature hole at Wentworth?
Signature hole at Wentworth, I think for me in this version of the course is the eighth hole.
Okay.
Um, Simply because out of like all the holes that are on the course and stuff like that, there is no hole out there that I actually believe that I nailed better than that one.
Okay, cool. All right. So you got off to a bogey start, and you've snuck in with two cheeky little birdies there, and you've now gone to 1 under. So yeah, you kept that one quiet.
That's me. I just when things start to go well, I'll just kind of skirt in there underneath the radar, and then all of a sudden you're kind of wondering what's going on here. Where
All
did
right.
that come out
So
of?
this tee shot is reminiscent of hole number 2 at Augusta, where you have to hug the left hand side. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, very
Okay.
much so. Um, Completely on the left-hand side. And in fact, even if you are a little bit further left, you can't really see it in the shade, but there's a nice mound there that kind of kicks your ball out. So in fact, you can probably hit a longer drive, not hitting the fairway,
Okay.
but
All
it'll
right.
eventually roll out onto it if you
Yeah.
if you get what I mean.
You get a really nice rollout on this fairway, though, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Like, and
Oh,
I think
this is a
this was one.
beautiful hole.
This was one
Oh,
I had to come back to a couple of times because that slope just wasn't working for me. It was too just steep and rolling down, and drives were running down there maybe 350 yards, and then it's like, well, that's not a par five. That's just a really really long par four.
yeah.
Um, so that definitely took some time to get that one right.
All right, so tricky pin position, bunker in the front, big
Yeah.
mound behind the bunker. So come up short, you're in the bunker. Go long, you hit the back of the mound, you're going to shoot straight across the green. So this is a tricky pin position.
Yeah, it really, really is. This one, I think what happened was the screen was completely relayed. So when I started this out, I actually had it slightly different. So I haven't played this particular green too much. So I'm just going to try something new here. And what I'm going to try and do is just aim it at the front right of the green, or yeah, front right, and try and draw it in off that, and hopefully the slope might bring it down to the hole.
I'm going
But
to
I'm
try and
asking
let the
God
wind
to
bring it
block it.
round. I think I'm going to come up short. I am. I've come up short and I'm in the bunker. So I didn't play it particularly well.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, this is a hella deep bunker.
Yeah, that was one thing that I had to make sure I got right as well because you don't see it that much on TV itself. But I got some pictures, and some of those bunkers are crazy deep.
Wow, this I tell you what, you've got this right because I can literally standing in the bunker here. All I can see is the flag flapping. I can't see any of the pole at all.
Oh, have I? Oh, I overcooked it a bit. Damn, too much draw.
All right, so Rich is saying, can we hear some design techniques, how you slope, smooth, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose the best one to pick on really is this hole here in terms of working that fairway and stuff like that. The best thing I find for I suppose making sure that your slope looks very kind of even and smooth rather than very blocky is to use what we call the fuzzy brushes. And those are on, I think if you go into your landscape flatten and you go to the fourth page, they're the top two, and all you want to do really is basically pick a cert. So, for example, if you have like a small area and just decide whether you want to, if you want to raise it, if you want to flatten it, if you want to bring it down, and then make that actual brush bigger so you can expand it out. And what that'll do is it'll show you exactly what kind of effect that certain measurement that you've picked and that size of the brush is going to have on the course. And that way what you can do is you can play around with it, and you can have complete control then of how much you want to slope it, or how much you want to create a new slope, or how much you want to overall flatten it. But those two brushes are pretty much the backbone of nearly every golf course on this game, for sure.
Yeah, because I suppose that's one of the things that I mean, I haven't spent an awful lot of time in the creator, but
Hmm.
that's the thing you actually see in courses when people are changing elevation is that you end up with this sort of plateau stepped effect where they're
Yeah.
doing like one level, then another level, then another level instead of that gradual slope from high to low.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that even if, like, for example, you're building a course at the moment and you've done that kind of a step thing, because I've done it sometimes. I think I did it for Grand Sourcier because there was so much of an elevation change. I needed to try and do it in steps. And then what I would do then is I would just go to the edge of each step, grab the that fuzzy brush, and then again just use the flatten tool. And then what happens then is it then gradually creates that slope for you. So basically any of those really just blocky, really steppy um, type slopes that you've maybe created before, you can use that brush then to go along and just even all those out.
Cool, cool. All right, I played the worst shot ever.
Where did you go? I can't even see you.
I've gone right in that right hand bunker. I hit a slow, and it just
Oh no.
zoomed off to the right. So Tom B has asked an interesting question, and he's saying,
Hmm.
"Can you make revenue creating courses?"
There are actually there's some designers out there that have built courses for money. Um, there are some people who I've seen post up looking for people to build like a specific, like an RCR or something like that, and they were willing to pay someone. I've never done that myself. I've never really wanted to. I just love building courses, so I've never really kind of looked at it that side. But it does happen. People
Ah,
have offered it, and people have also um, charged it. So I suppose yeah, it can be done.
so I
That's kind of
suppose
up to yourself though.
that's an interesting question coming to TGC 2019. Is that
Hmm.
the I suppose this begs the question. I mean, I don't know whether anybody from HP Studios would ever consider watching one of my videos, but you sort of think to yourself, they haven't got any licensed courses in the game.
Yeah,
They are talking about having licensed courses in TGC 2019.
yeah, I saw that.
So, are the people from HP Studios building those courses, or have they got seasoned creators to build those courses, and are they paying them for those courses? Maybe that is where the revenue thing question came from Tom, because I mean, let's take Magnolia National for example. That was
Hmm.
the very first and probably the most played version of Augusta that's in the game. I know there are licensing issues around Augusta, but if you were going to have that course in the game as a licensed course, surely you would just say, you know what, there's a bloody good course out there anyway, why don't we just use that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, like, hmm, it all depends see, like if you are to go with in terms of like licensing and you are going to look to bring in Augusta, um, the downside of it is that those guys, whoever they are that run Augusta and stuff like that, they're not gonna they're not gonna accept some person who may have walked Augusta and taken pictures and taken measurements and played the Tiger Woods games and went, yeah, that'll do. Like if they're gonna want their course on it, they're gonna make sure that it's gonna be the very, very best that it can be. And that's no disrespect to CLV or Royce, who've done some fantastic versions of Augusta. It's just you can just the way Augusta is like a golfer's mecca. They're not just going to have some amateur TGC designer represent their course. I can't see that happening. If Augusta is picked, you can guarantee they're going to want the best of the best, and you're probably looking at calling in the guys from EA
Yeah,
who did
yeah,
that
yeah.
to
It,
look after that.
I'll get in. Jeez, man, I am. this course in comparison to that last course I just played is just absolute chalk and cheese.
I'm not having too much fun myself now. I three putted the last one, and this pin position, I haven't been able to get the knack of it yet. It's sitting there on the other side of a hill, and it's very tough to kind of hit the perfect shot in. I think driver off the tee might actually be the wrong club. I think it might be a 3-wood, might be a better option.
Yeah, yeah. So Rich has just said, if they go licensed, Augusta will demand all the knockoffs to be removed, which might cause
Yeah,
more courses to do the same. Which, to be fair, almost flies in the face of what this game is all about for creators.
Hmm.
You don't want to say to people, go out there and create courses, and
Yeah,
then they want to stick a license course in there, but that course will only allow their course to be in there if all the TGC created courses are removed, because people are just going to get pissed off, aren't they?
that's it. I mean, it basically takes 50% of the game, or like ruins the fun of it at least. What I would say to do, and something I've actually kind of considered the last few days, as um, just been having chats with other designers and stuff like that, is just to go along the lines of just creating the RCRs like the likes of Wentworth and stuff like that, but just naming them something else. Like for example, I think is it Virginia Waters is where Wentworth is. So instead of calling it Wentworth, just call it Virginia Waters and just explain to people. I know courses won't be found as easily, but it kind of gets rid of that licensing issue that could crop up
Yeah.
should
That's that.
everything go that way.
Yeah, it's that word of mouth thing. I mean, like, as soon as everybody knew that Magnolia National was Augusta, that was
Oh,
it.
they flock to it.
You didn't have to
Yeah.
say anything else. Yeah. 28. It's a tricky
What
little
did you go
hole.
with
I,
off the tee
I
actually?
took a 3-wood. I took a 3-wood.
Ah,
It trickled nicely down into the bottom of that flat area just before the bridge.
trust
Uh,
me too, Aaron.
132.
Ooh, it's a bit short. Kick up, kick up. Oh no! Wow, completely misjudged that. Bye bye ball.
Right, I've hit nice. Perfect, perfect, and straight. Has it got the legs? Oh, it's too much. Too much. It's not too far past the flag, though.
It's better than where I am. About 35 feet away down on the bottom tier.
I got a downhill putt, and I don't like downhill putts when the green speed's over 180.
Yeah, that was one thing as well that I wanted to stay true to. I know that like lately they've been trying to soften up the greens at Wentworth and just make things a bit more player friendly, but I decided against that and I wanted to keep them as firm as they've kind of played in the last kind of 10 years.
So were you under pressure to get this out before the BMW, the PGA?
I wouldn't say I was like under any particular pressure, but I do know that there was a couple of guys from the TGC Tours were interested in featuring it for the event next week. So I think like I had the time, and it just all really worked out. It was
Are they using it, are they?
I don't know. I
All right.
don't know. I'm waiting. I, I'm waiting patiently, hoping that because all I've wanted to do is just have one course that's featured on it, and I so far I think this has the best chance of it. But I don't know, and I'm waiting patiently for it.
Okay, so this is a tricky one. I'm standing on... This is your signature hole, yes?
This for me, yeah,
Okay, so this is a tricky drive because it is downhill, even though it doesn't look very downhill. And I think a drive is going to be too big.
do you know what? Unless the wind is into your face, I would never take driver here. Um, if you take three wood, if you take three wood, you'll what you'll more than likely do is kick off the other side of that mound that kind of
Yeah.
cuts the fairway in two a bit, and it'll kick down from there.
Okay, cool. That is assuming I hit it straight.
Exactly, yeah. Caddy tip number 3. I have faith in you, Tim.
All right, it's looking good. Oh no, it didn't get a kick to the left. It stayed right and it went into the rough on the right-hand side. Into the first cut, I might add. Oh, look
Just
at that.
passed you by.
Look at that. Local knowledge. Local knowledge. Nice retaining wall work there.
Oh, this green had to be dug up and resurfaced about 3 times to get this right. It took a while, but it was so worth it. And actually, for anyone who, I suppose, knows Wentworth and knows that there's actually a couple of other courses there. There's the West Course, but there's also the East Course and there's the Edinburgh course. If you actually zoom out a little bit, you can see, I think it's the 6th hole of the East Course, just to the right of the 8th green.
All right, let's zoom out and have a look then. Let's see this.
Now it's semi-sculpted.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I see that. I see you've got some bits and pieces down the right-hand side there, yeah.
Just wanted to throw a few bits in just to kind of add to that scenery part.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you're standing on the green and you're looking through the trees, that's the kind of stuff you're going to see. So,
exactly.
It is right to be there. All right, I forgot what I was doing now. Hold on a sec.
Okay, that looks good. Is it good? Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, I'm coming out the rough here, so this could go anywhere. All right, I'm on, but I'm nowhere near as close as... Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm probably about 3 or 4 feet behind you.
Nice one. You give me a lovely little line then.
Yeah. So Rich has told me to fire my caddy because I went in the rough off the tee. Howling Wolf, have we got a release date for the new game yet? No, it's been a little bit quiet of late.
Yeah, I was reading about that in the forums. Very quiet lately. They have an announcement at the end of this month, from what I hear or what I read. I don't hear anything on the forums, but what I'm reading is that there's an announcement coming soon, but all seems to be very quiet.
So Colin Mafia, who's in the stream, has said it will be September, same as the last time. So
last time September? Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah. So, what's next on the horizon for you? Are you taking a break, or are you going for something else? Or
it's funny. I play with a group of guys, and we were actually having this conversation last night. And we have this joke every time I build a course. They're like, "Oh, how long of a break you're going to take?" And I was there like, "Oh, I'll take about a week off, just to unfry my head of Wentworth a little bit." And I woke up this morning and I was back into designer straight away. So it didn't last long at all.
Any hints or tips as to what you're doing, or?
Yeah,
it's got to be a European course, because that's your little niche you've carved for yourself. I think you and Colin are the only sort of 2 people that really do European courses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you know what, you wouldn't be wrong, and you're definitely not far from the truth. There's a couple of projects that are open at the moment. One of them, a friend from Canada asked me to make, so that one's actually a Canadian course. But the big one that I'm looking to kind of wrap up TGC2 with is I'm looking to do Celtic Manor.
Oh, what, the 2010?
2010.
Yeah, Colin's recently just finished that, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so I think he'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he did that within the last 6 months. That was one of his last projects.
I didn't even realise that.
Yeah. He'll probably...
I must take a look at it, though.
Yeah, he'll probably pop up in the chat and confirm that, but I'm pretty sure within the last 6 months he finished off Celtic Manor.
But, I'll definitely take a look at that.
Yeah. I mean, I love Celtic Manor. I'm a massive fan because I've played that course. Yeah. I've played that course in real life, so it is an absolute beaut of a course. It really is.
Yeah, no, I've been there. I was actually there for the Ryder Cup 8 years ago. I haven't played it, but I spent I spent a week just walking it, and it's absolutely fantastic course. Downside to it is that they put it in the middle of a bloody valley in Wales where it rains, and that was just a massive.
Oh yeah,
massive
it's right on the River Usk. In fact, it is. If you play the Montgomery course, which is up on the top of the hill, and that's got some beautiful vistas. I tell you what, if you ever want to create a course that's got some elevation changes, you should create the Montgomery course at Celtic Manor.
Yeah.
There's a hole. I think it. Let me just work it out in my head. Hold on. It's 1, 2. I think it's either hole number 3 or hole number 4. It starts off. You think it's fairly flat. You start off with a fairly flat drive. Sort of goes towards an avenue of trees, and then it drops about 100 feet to the green. It is an incredible view, and when you actually stand on the green and you look off to the left, you can see the 2010 course down in the valley. It's just beautiful. It really is. All 3 courses there, Montgomery, the Roman Road, and the 2010 course, are all fantastic.
Well, I'll have to check that one out, because I've obviously seen them when I was looking at just bits and pieces, I suppose, when I was kind of considering whether to do Celtic Manor or not. I did see that the Monty course was there, but I hadn't really checked it, so I hadn't really heard much about it, so I didn't think to take a look. But I'll definitely have a look at it. And see
you could do a really, really good job on that course, because there's some tricky par 3s. There's some tight holes on that course. Really tight holes. So yeah, I'd be keen to see that, actually, the Montgomery course there. I mean, people sort of, as soon as you talk about Celtic Manor, everybody associates it with 2010. But I think that course is the Montgomery course is one of those sort of unsung heroes, I think. Now, this is a tricky hole.
Yeah, this one here, you basically want... I think I've landed it a bit too far left there, but you want to land it left of the hole. Everything falls to the right here, and you want to make sure that you've at least given yourself a chance at making a putt. Sometimes if you go too far down the right-hand side, you could leave yourself with a really, really dodgy chip. And don't be short, those bunkers ain't friendly.
All right, I'm coming in. Let's see where I end up. Oh, right over the top of that flag, but long.
Ooh.
All right, so Kieran Hodnett has just come up and he says, we need Glen Eagles in the golf club. Has nobody created Glen Eagles?
Nobody has, actually. I've actually been building a list of... Actually, do you know what we're going to do? If you don't mind, Tim, I'm going to hijack your this lovely video for a minute. I have a list of courses that I actually have, maybe I'm going to build them, maybe I'm not going to build them. And maybe see what the guys want.
Yeah, throw it out there.
Instead of doing Celtic Manor, we can actually look at doing something. So let me see. There's actually quite a few on it. So
yeah, rattle them off. Doesn't matter.
Glen Eagles is here for sure. So what I'm thinking is, from a European Tour perspective, I've been considering doing Valderrama. I haven't seen it in the actual the game yet. There's also the Jumeirah Golf Estates, where the DP World Championship is on. And also there is a course in Bulgaria that hosted the World Golf Championship years ago. Beautiful golf course. Those are on the list. I also have the Glen Eagles, which is where the Ryder Cup was on, and I also have Royal Portrush. So comment below, guys, and whichever one you want, that's the one I'll do next.
You know what the funny thing is? As you said, Royal Portrush, somebody, Sean McCamley, wrote Royal Portrush, pretty please. He said he pretty much it came up on the chat as you said it, so he must have been reading your mind.
That's it.
I don't know that course at all. Yeah,
that's where the is it next year the British Open is on there?
Oh really?
Yeah, the Open Championship. I think. Yeah, it's on there next year, I think.
All right, so we're both at 2 under par. Did you just drop a shot?
Yeah, I went too far left off the tee and then belted it down the hill.
All right, yeah, so very, very bad. Take it we want to be as far right as possible here.
Yes and no. The reason why is that the further right you go, the more the fairway actually slopes. So you're going to leave yourself with an awkward shot. It is only roughly a wedge. in for your second shot, so that bunker shouldn't be too much of a threat. So in fact, if you want to take it up over those kind of bunkers on the left-hand side, nothing wrong there.
All right, I've gone literally slicing down the left-hand side, and it is moving back into the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, I'm right up behind you. Right.
All right,
beside you.
I've got exactly 100 yards to the flag. Call it 105 with the elevation change.
Yeah.
6 mile an hour wind, that should push it up beautifully.
Okay, now I'm gonna try to adjust for that slope, and let's see if I can knock this one close. Oh,
Get up! Oh, I've come up way short. I'm in the bunker. I kept taking bits off. I kept taking more and more off because the wind kept going up and up and up. And I went...
What I find actually is with a lob wedge and a sand wedge, downwind, the wind has literally no effect. But if you're playing into the wind, it's ridiculous. I'm not too sure if that's deliberate or something, but I find that if you're 105 yards out with a sand wedge downwind, you still have to de-loft it a bit.
Yeah. So
Right,
zero
too much.
Zero Games for me says, as a player only, I want to say thanks to all the creators. You guys are awesome. Lots of respect. So there we go. That's a shout out for you guys that create courses.
There's so many fantastic designers out there who give like the game essentially wouldn't function without them. So like, hats off to all of them. Ooh, this is really down. I'm not leaving myself in really good positions to score here at all. Turn.
Oh.
Slow down. Oh, sneaks in.
Did you get a birdie? Oh, you got the par.
Yeah,
you got a birdie, yeah. Oh, this is a cheeky little par 5.
Yeah, definitely. Those trees, I think they look more daunting than they actually are. You should be able to clear over definitely the top of the left one. But the danger here, and people don't pay too much attention to it because the ditches in Wentworth are so small, but there's water right on the landing area. So
I saw that, yeah.
If you hit a fast, you hit a slow, that ball could be wet.
Oh, I've just hit a very slow. Jesus Christ, that's gone like 90 degrees right. Oh, that's terrible. I'm rolling down the cart path. That's okay.
A bit of a Louis Oosthuizen on it.
Yeah, so Kieran's written, what about Carnoustie?
Yeah, actually, I was chatting to someone about that not so long ago. I thought Carnoustie was in the game, but evidently I got that one wrong.
And then Jack Bailey has written Portrush !
Portrush seems to be the one to go with at the moment, because I have Royal County Down in my kind of in progress at the moment, simply because it's essentially rated the best course in the UK and Ireland, and I really want to do that one justice. So that one's been going now for about 2 to 3 months, and I chip away at it and stuff like that. But it's
a slow burner.
It's a slow burner. It's something that I probably won't even end up publishing until the next game, but it's just something I really, really don't want to put out there and be rubbish.
Oh, jeez, I've played this hole so crap. So Colin's written, Carnoustie is out there. It's the championship final version I'm using on LPGA. And Tom B's written, Valderrama would be amazing.
Yeah, Valderrama is a fantastic course, and again, like we were chatting in the Meet the Creator, my family's hugely Sevi biased, and him being the captain there in '97 and stuff like that. So that's obviously why Valderrama appeared there. I suppose for anyone who's just jumping onto the stream, most of my courses come from just, I suppose, memories and growing up with certain aspects around my father and him watching players and stuff like that. It was just they've all meant something to me, so that's kind of the reason for those.
Oh, I managed to salvage a putt there. I didn't play that hole well at all.
I think I might just get a birdie. Went long on the second shot. That's one thing about some of these greens is that if you hit them in just the wrong spot, they take off and they do not stop running.
Yeah, yeah. All right, hole number 13. So Colin's written. So this was just before I read Colin's comment. Has there been any mention of whether the same kind of process is going to happen that happened from TGC 1 to TGC 2, in that you have to port all of your courses across?
As far as I'm aware, because it was one thing I actually asked when they announced the new game instead of an update, was basically in terms of the actual porting over, because I didn't like the way they did it from TGC 1 to TGC 2. Some of the courses just showed up really weird, and it was really hard to kind of gauge and edit them properly, so I didn't actually, no, to be honest, I didn't really have anything to really port over. They were just kind of scraps that I'd played around with in TGC 1. But as far as I know, there is going to be a port there, but I think they are going to be making some at least advances with it, and hopefully it actually runs a bit smoother.
I've just played a shocking tee shot. I just hit a fast slow.
And do you know what the worst thing is that it couldn't come at a worse time, because this is the toughest stretch on the golf course.
You could have told me that before I started playing the hole.
But I can't tell you. I can't do it for you. I mean, sometimes you just have to, put on the big boy pants again and go into it.
Yeah.
No, there's. I'll return to caddy form on the next hole, I promise.
That's all right. I've managed to get on the green. I'm fairly close, so I should be able to get the par. So Colin's written here, and you'll probably know better than I will. Waterfall next to the third green at Valderrama is now possible.
Get in. Oh, yes!
Eagle. Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
Well, how far was that from? About 150?
168, I think, or 164.
Oh, fabulous.
Possibly.
Fabulous. Great eagle. Oh, you've pulled away now. 4 shots clear. All right.
So, number 14. This is one of my favorite holes. I love this. It's so goddamn hard. But if you take a look and we zoom out a little bit, I just threw in this just for a little bit of added touch to it. There's a little car there on the right hand side. Basically tried to get the most BMW looking car I could find to throw it on there, just to kind of represent the BMW.
Oh, hang on a sec.
PGA
next to the T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
So,
I see that. I've just zoomed out for people to see that. Yeah, it looks like a 3 series or a 5 series, something like that.
That's it. Like, so if you get a hole in one, you win a little toy car there. So.
All right.
Okay, so what you want to do here is, like, is there an overall best way to play this? Essentially, it's definitely a 5-iron. It's definitely a club up to get up there. You want to throw a bit of loft on it so it lands a bit soft. But at the end of the day, you're if you get out of here with par, you'll be really happy, and trust me on that.
Yeah, so I've taken a 5-iron, I've added a smidge of loft to it, it's hit the green, and it's gone long. I should have added a bit more, but that's okay. Long's probably not too bad.
Yeah, it's no, hit the flag. Nope. Yeah, I'm gone long as well.
So Sean says, if Tim gets an ace, you owe him a BMW.
You get one of those little, like, €5 cars.
Yeah, a little matchbox car, yeah.
That's it, exactly.
All right,
Just
I can see. I'm going to watch this because I just know that a chip-in's coming.
I don't... You're feeling a bit more confident than I am about this anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah, confidence in you, because I very seldom get them. Let's have a look. Let's watch.
It's gone in.
Oh, you see. Ah.
I'm just going to resign right now. I'm good now. I've
And I missed
done everything
mine.
I
Oh,
wanted
and
to
it's
do.
rolling on a mile past the hole. Oh, it's rolled all the way off the green. Oh, almost all the way off the green.
Yeah, you've got to be so careful. So careful there. I'm so glad that went in because I would have been down beside you.
Get in, get in. Oh, I've missed the putt going back up the hill. So that's a bogey hole. As you said, par is you pick it up and you walk on.
Yeah, that's it. Like you kind of take your punishment. Now that's on pin 4. I mean, pins 1 through 3, definitely a little bit more open. Birdies, pars, not a problem. But that pin 4 pin position is just it's a ball buster.
All right, stroke index 1. Why is this such a tough hole?
I
Or is this?
Look,
Oh,
Gabe
is
index.
it? No, you know what? It's probably not been handicap rated yet.
Yeah, do you know what? That's probably it. Um, what? So, yeah, that I don't know why that stroke index one. Anyway, this is probably the one hole that I felt doesn't actually look 100% as it does in real life, and that's simply because of that stream that runs down the right hand side. It's actually a hell of a lot smaller than that, but to go ahead and make that smaller just looked absolutely horrendous, so I had to leave it wide, and even at that, it still doesn't look that great because of all the messing around I did with it. So it's a little bit of a disappointment, which I'm hoping they kind of allow me to make that a bit smaller in TGC 2019. And the other side of it is I could have made it smaller with retaining walls, but sadly there is no retaining walls on that particular stream that runs in Wentworth, so it would have made no sense. So I decided, look,
Yeah.
just leave it, call it a day. I can only do what I can do with it, and go along with it. What I'll say here for this shot in is that you might notice it, but you're actually playing off. Well, you'll notice it when you go to check the lie, is that you have a left to right lie, but then once you hit that green, everything falls towards the back. So you definitely want to leave this second shot a little short of that flag.
Okay. Thanks for the advice. And it's rolling from right to left to the green as well.
Yeah, it actually rolls the opposite way, which is really fun. The first part of the fairway, as far as that bridge runs left to right, and then everything after that falls back the other way.
All right, I'm in. I'm going in. Come up nice and short. Yeah, almost pin height. Still rolling though. I say almost pin height. I came up way short, and I'm probably a good 4 or 5 yards past the flag on the left-hand side.
I'm down
Yep.
there right beside you.
Yeah. And I came up a long way short as well.
That's it. I think I went with a. Let me see. I think I went with a 7-iron. I think.
Yeah, 179, I think, and then I added some loft to it.
I went 168 and even added some loft to that. So
Be nice to get a
some
long
of the
putt in.
greens can be really receptive in places. Now others they're very fierce. Okay.
Go on, get in the hole. Yes, nice to
that-
sink a
I think
decent putt.
Oh, left it out on the right.
I'm still under par. Happy with that. It's a proper scorecard though. Birdies, bogeys, pars, and even an eagle thrown in there for good measure.
Yeah, exactly. And that was, I think that was one thing I wanted. Like I wanted to have people have a bit of fun. Like pin set 1, I think, and pin set 3. Do you know what? Go nuts. I've seen some absolutely crazy scores on that. People shooting like 15, 17, 18 under, which was absolutely nuts. I didn't even shoot any of those. And then on the other side, then when you've got pin set 4, you're talking, if someone shoots 62, that's a hell of a round.
So I've just hit the cart path and it's just bounced on, and I am now
Short of that green.
338 yards, and I've just kept it in the fairway. I've got 28 yards to the flag.
I meant to say, I didn't get to the tee as quick as you did, so I meant to say it. Yeah, that car pad is going to push you on. And I think I've just driven it over the car pad, so I'm a bit further back than you. But Yeah, you got there too quick. I couldn't give you my caddy tip number 5. For any of you who play there, 3 wood, 2 iron. That's the club to go with. Give yourself an easier shot because what Tim is going to play is going to be a lot of fun.
Come on, spin back. Yeah, I'll take that.
How did that go?
Yeah, not bad.
Is that...
3 feet from the flag.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had that same shot earlier and made an absolute...
I played a 30-yard flop
Very
and
bad.
just added a little bit of loft to it to get it to come back.
Nice.
Put it over the flag and let it come back down a little bit. It's alright. Picked up the birdie. I'll wait for you on the next tee.
Ooh, close. Yeah, about 2 or 3 feet off there as well. I'm just going to slide that one in.
So Collins written, they said TGC 2019 version is built with the consoles in mind instead of PC. About time.
Yeah, I'm damn right about time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's just I don't know. Everything was very PC focused with the others, and just the consoles couldn't handle it. I mean, I don't know if you came across it at the very start, but all those errors were just, oh my God, blew the head off me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So Colin mentioned earlier that Ernie else has got a house on 17.
yeah, as far as I know, it's the one here on the left hand side.
What, the
If
one down
I'm
near
not
the green?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so.
We'll have a cheeky little look when we get down near the green. I take it this one you need to be down the right hand side.
Yeah, you need to be down the right hand side to give yourself the angle. I mean, you can go down the left and, you'll definitely be closer to the green, but you're going to leave yourself a little bit blocked out with a slope on the fairway that really doesn't favor you. So, do you know what? If you hit it left of center, the fairway is going to kick it out to the right, and it leaves you maybe about 270 out down the hill, 3 wood onto the green, not a bother.
All right.
Easier said than done.
I've got 283. It is downhill to the green, but it looks like it slopes from left to right, the fairway.
From left to right,
yeah.
And then you've got to bring it back in around the corner of that tree.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to get close. I heard your ball land, so... Oh, there you go. Pasting past me.
Yeah. 328. Yeah, so I've actually got a pretty decent line here. Nobody can really see it here, but I can actually, if that fairway was flat, I could go straight at it, but it's not. So we're just going to throw a little bit of draw on it and see how that goes. And where's that flag? The flag should be, yeah.
All right,
Now,
I'm away.
Okay, mine is, yeah, I'm not going down the gully anyway, but I reckon I've actually a bit too long with that 3 wood.
Oh,
yeah.
I made it.
I could have went with a club less, I think.
I'll tell you what,
now,
284 and I've left myself 16 feet from the flag.
I'm still going. Slow down. All right, there we go. So I think if we turn over there to the right, well, my right anyway, it's one of those houses on the hill.
All right, let me just spin my golf around so everybody can see. So Colin wrote, I hedged Ernie's on mine. He has his own gate. All right, so
yeah, he does actually. That's right. Now, sadly, I would have put a bit more effort into the gardens in the houses, but I actually ran out of plant meter. I had none left. The course maxed it out completely, so I couldn't even add anything into the course.
I was quite surprised how quickly it loaded up, because normally when you have a lot of plants in the game, it
yeah. Well, I suppose if you want, for the crack, because we're here and we're nearly done, we'll just go up into an aerial view there, and we'll just actually, you'll have a pretty decent look of where all those. It's because it was all trees, pretty much. For anyone who knows Wentworth, it's all trees, and the handy thing is that the course runs out in one direction and comes back in another, so you never find that too many trees get clustered into one area, which I think actually really, really worked to my advantage. So there shouldn't really be any lag whatsoever. It should be relatively quick to load. So that was one thing I was so thankful for.
I'll have a look when I get out onto 18. I'll zoom out and have a quick butchers at that.
Perfect. I'm going to try and get this one close.
Alright, let's zoom out. Let's have a quick look. Zoom out. Why can't I zoom out any further? Probably because I'm doing it the wrong way. Okay, so I'm zoomed out now. Let's have a... Did you get the eagle?
Close. No, I left it a foot short from 55 feet.
Nice.
Tap it in.
Alright, I see what you mean. Yeah. So you've almost got like lines of trees that are used by consecutive holes or opposite holes. So you go up and you go out on one and back on the other.
That's it, exactly. It's very St. Andrews like in its layout, which is really, really handy. And it has that kind of bottle there, which in around like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, where it kind of has a bit of a cluster, and then it just pretty much comes straight back in towards the clubhouse again.
Yeah, what theme did you use for this?
This is the countryside theme.
Alright, cool.
It was the most kind of rural English one I could get, so it was just the best one to go with. And plus, the oak trees are really handy. They cover an awful lot of gaps, so that worked perfectly as well.
Yeah, they sprawl quite well, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. Really handy, especially when you're working with, like I said, Wentworth, where there is no real gaps. You can't really see anything. You can't see like the next hole, so it was just important to make sure those were all covered up.
All right, so short par 5 to finish. So this is back-to-back par 5s on 17 and 18.
Yeah, back-to-back par 5s. It's not something you actually see an awful lot, and it's one thing that Wentworth is incredibly famous for, because even though it's back-to-back par 5s, neither of them are anything. There's nothing simple about either one of them, to be honest. You have to have a perfect tee shot. You have to have a perfect second shot. And that doesn't even guarantee you an eagle or a birdie. So you just have to be very smart with how you play them.
So we're fading around the tree by the looks of it, yes?
Yes, but be careful of you can see it there. There's a slightly tall tree there. You just want to make sure you're to the left of that. The slight fade is all it really is.
Oh, I've gone over the trees.
Oh, I hit it fast. I hit a couple of fast this evening. That's bunker bound anyway. Yeah, we're not going for it. Oh, ruins my big finish anyway.
So you went, this is a beautiful looking finishing hole.
Yeah, the only thing I was disappointed with was the grandstands are bloody green. I wanted to have them white, but look, we can't.
Yeah, I've noticed on the some notes the other day that they're going to put seated spectators in the grandstands.
Yeah,
which will be good. Yeah. So when you have your crowds, you'll be able to put seated spectators in the grandstands.
Brilliant, because that's something that was massively missing from this one. Right, so I've chunked that up the fairway a bit. So yeah, actually, just another thing as well, because obviously there'll be some people who are watching the tournament next week at Wentworth, and you'll probably take a look at some aspects of the course and go, well, I didn't see that, or he had bunkers in, but they're not there. So I think the best way to explain it is because, I suppose, since 2000, I think it was 2003, Ernie Els did his first revamp on the course. There's been about 5 or 6 since, and what happened was there was just so much information out there muddled up and things that were conflicting with others. And so what I decided to do was I took my favorite parts of what they took out and what they put back in and created more of a West Course experience rather than a West Course 2018, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. That's back-to-back birdies on 17 and 18. I'll take that any day of the week.
Spin. Yeah, I think we're going to finish off with a birdie.
5 under par 67, and you're going to finish with a 10 under par 60. Oh, no, 62.
62. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Wow, absolutely fantastic. So I think Royal Portrush was the resounding winner in the
In the end,
suggestion.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll
So,
do is I'll give just because I know there'll be guys watching the video later on your channel for sure. So what I'll do is I'll give them about 24 hours and see what happens. But so far anyway, it's Portrush, and sure if anyone else comments in, I'll take a look at it. But it's going to be Portrush or Valderrama by the sounds of it.
cool. Excellent. Coyle, it's been an absolute pleasure once again. And I'm
Thank you
sure.
very much for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. And anytime you want to showcase another course, I am more than happy to do this again because it's been an absolute blast. And thank you for joining me. And I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. If you guys watching in the stream would like to hit that like button, the support is always greatly appreciated. I'm sure myself and Corhill will both appreciate it. And he'll keep the great courses coming. I'll keep the videos coming, and if you want to leave some comments, comment on which of the courses that he mentioned earlier in the video that you would like to see created next. The ones that sort of were resounding favourites up to this point were Royal Portrush and Valderrama, but give us your thoughts in the comments. And if you've yet to subscribe to the channel, then feel free to do so. But for me, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to let Corhill say his goodbyes, and then I'll end the stream.
Goodbye, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get to do this all again soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks very much. Bye-bye now.
Bye, bye.